again.
Are you ready, Shaun?
No, I'm not.
I said, are you ready, Shaun?
No.
Shaun, I am Netflix asking you if you are still watching.
I'm not. The content's bad. I've switched off.
My name's Jimmy, this is Shaun, and I know I said we're going to do a VAR podcast next, but we had a conversation and realised there's probably too much to rant about for VAR. So we're going to have a quick, smaller discussion about something that we just saw that was announced a few hours ago, although it'd be a few days ago, depending on when this podcast comes out. But it is, as you could tell by the Netflix intro, it's something to do with Netflix. It's an Assassin's Creed series coming to Netflix, and it will be in partnership or collaboration with Ubisoft themselves, the developers of the Assassin's Creed series. We know nothing really about it, other than obviously it's in partnership with Ubisoft, and yeah, we the basis of this is just to give you a little bit of news on the subject, so you know it's happening, but also I want to talk about how Netflix or other series have adapted from video games or media such as that. The biggest one right now is The Witcher, which Shaun has not seen.
Actually, not the first 2 episodes.
Yeah,
I'm behind on a lot of TV.
Same, mate. But I did watch The Witcher, and I've played all the games. So, but obviously, The Witcher doesn't follow the games, except for obviously there are characters that are in both the books and the games that follow over. But anyway, it still counts as a form of media, and they've done very well with it. It's been a very interesting watch. I know it's I think the first season was received very well, but it did have its issues, a few pacing problems. But the season 2 is promising a bit more of a focused storyline that doesn't go backwards and forwards in a timeline. So yeah, we're getting that for The Witcher, but they adapted it well, and that's the point I'm trying to get at here. Will they be able to adapt an Assassin's Creed series well? What will they do? Will they go for the actual game storyline, or will they take a bit more liberties with the series by doing something they did with the movie, which I haven't seen, but I know a bit about the fact that it was still set in the sort of game timeline, but was a completely separate story. Either way could be interesting. How many Assassin's Creed games have you played or seen? Have you played any, Shaun?
Yeah, I've played a couple. I played 2. I played Black Flag, and I played a bit of. I get confused. Was it Origins or the one that came out?
Origins is the Egyptian one. Odyssey is the Greek one.
Origins.
Okay. Yeah. Origins was great. I loved Origins. I played them all except Unity and obviously Valhalla because it's not out yet. But I know what Unity is about. But if I was to make a series, I feel like a lot of these video game or books series don't really follow. All right, it's good to take creative liberties or have a bit of creative freedom with certain media, especially in comic books, comic book movies. You don't always want the same story regurgitated. So sometimes you want to see a comic book story come to life, but sometimes it's better if they do their own thing. But Marvel is a testament to that, even though some of their movies are quite repetitive, as we talked about before, but they're very good at doing stuff that can be quite creative and can draw in an audience. Will they do that for this? I don't know. Personally, I'd like to see them follow the game storyline, but with Ubisoft looking back and saying, "Oh, this was a bit crap. Maybe we do better here," or "Oh, Desmond, we shouldn't have maybe killed him off here," or maybe we should have made him interesting. I don't know. Maybe they should just scrap the present day storyline and just focus on the assassins. Um, go through Ezio, go through Altair, maybe do something like that. I don't know what they'll do. It could be anything. Personally, I think they're going to do what they did with the movie and sort of make their own shit up so they don't have to be stuck behind like what Ubisoft has already put out for them, even though Ubisoft is already involved. Um, Either way,
I think Ubisoft will be more of a backseat role of just
yeah.
as a way to like keep the fans happy. They won't. I don't think they'll have any say in the actual storyline. I think it'll just be more of the lore sort of thing of going, yes, you can and can't do this in the universe we've already created.
Well, it does say here that Ubisoft's Jason Altman and Danielle Kranick will serve as executive producers, so they might have a bit more say than you might think, but I have no idea how that will turn out. Could be good, could be bad.
I just can't see them following the games.
No,
I think they'll
don't
feel too restricted by that.
Mm-hmm.
I think they'll want to go and do their own thing, and you'll probably end. What they'll probably do is to do a bit of fan service and keep people happy. Is they'll have little nods to the games in certain episodes. So it might be that they have a bit of a storyline where it maybe runs alongside the games in a certain universe, and you'll hear about certain characters, or
Yeah.
you may see them briefly, but not as a main character.
Yeah, I 100% agree. I think it won't just be completely separate. I think they'll make it a part of the game universe, like they did with the movie. In fact, a game character does appear in the movie. I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure from Unity, Arno has like there's a little glimpse of him in the movie, but I'm not 100% sure. Plus, there's like a couple of what are they called? The bad guys in Assassin's Creed. I've completely forgot what they've called. Abstergo. There's a couple of Abstergo leaders in there that are from the games or are referenced to in the games. But I think they'll do something like that. That's it's either they do that or they completely stay with the story of the games and just like maybe add to it or shorten it or do whatever they want. They could do like an anthology thing where they follow one assassin and then follow another assassin the next season. I could be down for that. But it's more of a wait and see sort of situation. And
So
video,
we have very limited information at the moment.
yeah, video. This news is literally like 5 hours past. Like we've only known about it for 5 hours, and all we've seen is a logo pop up. So yeah. As most people know, especially if you're a video game fan, video games have not been represented very well in the media. And I'm not talking about, the news. I'm talking about translation from movies, from games to movies or to TV. I can't really name many. Well, I can't name any right now that have been Castlevania, the animated series on Netflix, that's meant to be really good. But I haven't seen it to judge for myself. But there are very few, and we just hope that could, that could change here. I'm sure you also share that sentiment, right?
Yeah, so it's something that hasn't really been explored massively yet of converting a video game into a TV series or film, but I think it's definitely something, or we've definitely seen that it's looking to be exploited now as people see that obviously video games have a big fan base and there's a way to make more money from them.
Yeah. I know you're not like the big video game person as I am, but is there a video game series you'd like to see translated to movies or TV? Like anything?
I purely because it's just obviously like quite a favourite of mine, like the Elder Scrolls universe. Could be quite interesting.
Yeah. Did you know, actually, it's sort of related, they are making a Fallout TV show based on the Fallout games. So the same developers, Bethesda, of the Elder Scrolls series. And Fallout
So it could be
was...
something we see if that goes well then.
Yeah, Fallout is one of my, if not my favourite video game series of all time. And I just remembered this as well. And I'm actually really excited for it now. I've completely forgot. I hope they won't follow the games. I don't think. I think they'll do their own thing, because Fallout's just a world of lore. But I'm very excited for that, and I hope that's good as well. But my pick would be, I don't know if you've ever seen a show called The Expanse. Have you seen The Expanse? It's on Amazon right now. I definitely recommend it. It's one of the best.
No, I haven't watched it.
It's one of the best sci-fi shows I have ever seen, or that has ever been made. But it shares a lot of similarities with a video game series called Mass Effect. I don't know if you've heard about Mass Effect or have ever played a Mass Effect, but there have been rumors recently that is getting the trilogy, the first trilogy, is getting a remake for the newer generations of consoles for early next year. It's been something I've been waiting for a very long time. So I'm very happy that may possibly be coming. But I'd also love to see a TV show for Mass Effect, because I think it'd be really good. And the closest thing we've got to it is The Expanse, and that is also really, really good. So that is a game that I'd love to see translated into a TV show. Yeah, that's probably the top of my list. I'd just love to see it. But the basis of this podcast was to tell you, if you haven't seen already, Assassin's Creed is coming to Netflix in some form of TV show. We don't know how, don't have any more details. But yeah,
It'll probably be a few years before we actually see the end product of it.
I wouldn't be surprised if we see it at the end of next year, because I feel like they've been working on this for a few months now, and they may be further ahead than we think. But
we'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah, we'll just have to wait and see. That's the end of this podcast. We're trying to do some shorter podcasts to fill some time where we don't have a lot of time to record, but we will be recording more podcasts. I will be going away in a few weeks' time. Well, not away, but I will be unable to record podcasts, and I'll only be able to edit. So we want to get a few recorded now, and we're trying out some smaller news by sort of podcasts, having a small discussion on it, and we're going from there. This is the first of that, even though it will still be a numbered part of the podcast. But thought we'd tell you before we continue, and you're like, why is this one 30 minutes, this one an hour, and then this one's like 15 minutes long? This is the reason. But I think it's a nice little bit of news to add onto a podcast, don't you think, John? Hello? Hi?
So, yeah.
Yeah. Did you hear what I said?
May have switched off slightly, not gonna lie.
Okay. Oh my god. I just said I feel like doing the smaller podcasts based on like small bits of news and starting a small discussion on that. I've said small like 10 times now, but that
small.
That is like it's a good thing. You can call it a filler episode if you want, unless you're interested in this topic, but it's a nice small little thing to put
it
out.
Might be that we don't call these ones podcasts because they're short ones, and we have a new name for them. Well, it's just different. It's different content.
Yeah, we'll consider changing that in the future, but for now we'll just add it onto the podcasts, and obviously we'll decide on that later on. But it's been a 15-minute podcast, although the last 3 minutes have probably been of me discussing this. But anyway, we'll leave it at that. Let's just hope Netflix don't fuck this up.